Sofia Carson's new self-titled album just dropped, and we are loving it.
She's here today. Please welcome back our friend, Sofia. And wait, before we get into it, our staff is just losing it over your outfit.
I mean, come on.
Kind of like an armor.
Thank you, guys. You know, I had to dress up for you guys today. It's a big day.
It is a big day. It has got to be good as an artist to come out with a trailer for the project.
Thank you. You know, I've always kind of seen my music, and especially this album, almost like miniature movies. So to be able to tell the story from start to finish that I wrote with this album trailer was really exciting, and now it's out for the world, which literally gives me goosebumps every time I say it.
Right?
What's the inspiration behind this album?
So I wrote my first song when I was 10 or 11 years old, and I fell in love with storytelling. And I knew that when I wrote my first album, I wanted to tell a story about love. And so I did, from start to finish, a story about a girl who falls into a beautiful love only to get shattered into pieces, but nonetheless, a girl who picks up her pieces and survives. And that's what this album tells.
Ooh, and you tell it in this voice.
Yes.
You dip down, Sophia. You dip down.
I dip down.
You dip down. Was it difficult at points, you know, to share some of the things you do?
It's a beautiful thing, the power of music. I've always felt that my deepest, darkest secrets and my fears and my heartbreak are safe in music. So to be able to kind of take heartbreak and turn it into a beautiful thing, into something that can hopefully connect with people around the world, that when people hear it, they hear their story and mine, is a beautiful thing, but it is scary to be that vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's very scary,
And
but
like,
it's thrilling.
And to also know that people who might be listening might be, this is what about me?
Yeah, no, literally. I was like, I wonder if they're gonna know that it's about
Oh, I hope they do.
I hope they do. Yeah.
You were just at the iHeartRadio event.
I was.
How was it? Who did you meet? Who did you get to talk to?
It was so much fun just to be at an award show again and for it to feel kind of normal and to celebrate music. I brought out the sequins and the feathers and the Valentino because I had to.
Oh, that is
And look at the there's like a
spectacular.
mini yellow purse that came with it. That was just like the star of the evening. But anyways, it was so much fun. J-Lo was being honored, Måneskin was there, and this amazing band that I'm obsessed with. It was just really cool to be there.
When J-Lo got up on that stage and did the thing that
In the
J-Lo
cat
does.
suit.
Only J-Lo does.
I mean, did you lose your mind?
I lose my mind almost every time I watch her perform, just in like pure admiration and awe, because like you said, only J-Lo can do what she does. And I remember the first time I met her was at my first red carpet award show ever, and I was with a record executive who knew her, and they were like, do you want to meet Jennifer? And I was like, when you say Jennifer, like you mean like J-Lo?
Right.
Jennifer?
Are we talking about the same woman?
Jennifer. And they're like, yeah, and I was like, yeah. And I went to her dressing room with my sister, and she was like in glam. And I just remember, I stood there and I stared.
Yep.
That's all I did.
Same.
I couldn't say anything.
Yep.
But I cherished that moment.
You know what I love, what she said for the Icon Award? She's like, I haven't even hit my stride.
Just
Isn't that
getting
incredible?
started.
And so I love that for women, breaking the glass ceilings and keeping it going
and
right there.
speaking of a trailblazer, J-Lo has trailblazed the way for women like me, and nothing is impossible for her.
Nothing is impossible for you. I'm going to ask you this
thank you.
question.
Yeah.
Okay, it is called My Little Pony, a new generation, right? So you voice this, you go out for this project, and it does crazy, crazy well, and then they parlay that into the Calm app.
Isn't that so beautiful? So this, My Little Pony, the film, was so beloved by so many. There we go, that was at the carpet. And they wanted to, the Calm app is now reaching out to kids as well, because the pandemic has made it kind of difficult for kids to fall asleep, and they're struggling with, you know, just things. And kids can kind of fall asleep to the voice of Pip Petals, which is my character in My Little Pony, and we created this really beautiful kind of dream story, and it's really sweet.
It is
What
sweet.
is it about Petals? Is there a certain thing that you do with her voice?
Petals, I did have to be like super soft and super tender when I spoke, and but also kind of sweet and uplifting at the same time.
Yeah.
But they love Pip, and it makes me so happy.
Pip,
It's
could
so
you
good.
fall asleep to Pip?
I can fall asleep to Sophia right now. She's got this sultry, right? It's cool because kids are gonna get to know you in a whole new way.
Yeah.
A whole new generation of kids are gonna get to know you.
Absolutely.
But who was the person, the artist that you looked to when you were a kid that you were like, oh yeah, they're doing it?
I mean, so many. You mentioned J-Lo. J-Lo was definitely one of them. Beyonce, Alicia Keys, all the trailblazers.
Right.
But I think my go-to icons are always Cher, and Barbra Streisand, and Audrey Hepburn.
You're going old school.
I've always had an old soul, and I would sit after school and watch Cher's concerts and all of her wigs and outfit changes, and I'd be like, Mom, that's what I want to be when I grow up. And then I would watch her movies, and then she was a director and a producer, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to be.
Well, Kit, now that she says Cher, don't you
I'm
get like a
looking at the
Cher
center part.
vibe
Can
right
you
now?
do the flip? Sofia.
It need to be a little bit longer.
Right?
You just did the Cher voice. You should.
Sofia.
I would die. I think she's just end-all, be-all. She's incredible.
She's the bomb. You are a force. You're also, because you do this art, but then you also bring it back home in real life, right? You're working with UNICEF.
Yes.
Working to get girls and keep girls in school. Tell us more about that.
Thank you. You know, I hope you guys meet my mom one day because she's extraordinary, but she raised me. I'm going to bring her next time. Hi, Mom. She raised me to believe that the greatest thing that we can ever do with our lives and with our voices is to give. And so she set the example of women like Audrey Hepburn, who dedicated their lives to UNICEF. And when I became the newest UNICEF ambassador, my focus became educating young girls. And so this month I partnered with UNICEF, and we used Loud as a PSA to keep girls in school. There's over 130 million girls around the world out of school because of the pandemic, because of global crises, and that means that there's 130 million girls who are denied a voice and denied a future, and it's our duty, because we're lucky enough to have an education and to have voices, to lift up our voices to protect theirs.
Come on.
Keep going, Sofia. Let's hear it for you guys.
Go, baby.
See you next time with your mom.
With your mom.
Yes, ditto. Love you guys.
Sofia's new self-titled album, Sofia Carson, is available right now.
Look at that
Go
cover.
get it.
That's so cool.